you are curious about mushroom hunting, our first guest joins us with everything you need to know. We welcome back gardening coach Tiffany Garner. Great to see you.
Great to be back.
Look at all the cool stuff that you've brought.
Yeah. So spring is not just the beginning of gardening season, but it's the beginning of mushroom season.
Okay, so how do you even know where to begin in terms of what to look for and also just staying safe when you're out and about hunting? That's
Absolutely.
a big one too.
Very important to stay safe. Yep. First things first, join a club. The Oregon Mycological Society. Great club to join. We meet locally once a month up at the zoo.
Oh, how fun.
It's super fun. We have an ID table at the beginning of the meeting, and so people come and bring whatever they've found, and we just lay it on the table, and we have a bunch of experts that put an identification on them and talk to people about them.
How great is that?
Yeah.
A great place to start if you really need that guidance.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. And there are tons of books as well. You want to make sure that you're getting a book that's local, because there's tons of mushroom books out there, but we're just hunting here in the Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
So some of the classic books to have around. This is the all-time classic, All the Rain Promises and More.
Wow. Look at that.
It's just the most charming book you'll ever
so
see.
Cute. Okay.
And then some more up-to-date ones. These are really good here. This one is actually specific for morels.
Okay, morels.
And chanterelles.
Chanterelles here, okay.
Yep, and these were written by a local forager.
Very cool.
Also important to know your plants.
Okay.
Because sometimes it helps to know the trees and the plants that are around in an area, and that'll get you to the right spot.
And this one?
Mushrooms of the Pacific Northwest, obviously very specific for our area and just recently updated.
Oh, how cool.
Yep. So, and as you can tell, mushrooms can come in all shapes and sizes.
Yeah, what am I even looking at over there?
Yeah, so these guys are really, really fun. This one's called a Helvella.
Ooh, cool.
And actually, I normally find this one mostly in the fall, and I happen to find some of these last week, and pretty exciting. They're just one of those weird ones. Just a weird one that's fun to look at.
Oh, I love that.
Also, this piece of blue wood, that's caused by a fungus.
Oh.
It's called the blue stain fungus, and it's transmitted by beetles, and they crawl in and out of that dead decaying wood, and that fungus comes in the form of this blue color, and then in the fall when you flip it over, it actually forms little blue cups on the bottom of the piece of wood, which is pretty darn fascinating.
That's cool.
And then you can take spore prints when you found your mushrooms.
How do you do that successfully?
So you just take your little
mushroom. So we can see.
You're going to take your little mushroom and you cut the cap off, and we're talking mushrooms that kind of look like your grocery store mushroom, like a button. You cut the little cap off and you put it on a piece of paper, and sometimes the spores can be a brownish color, sometimes they can be white, so it's good to put it on a piece of paper that is half white, half black.
Sure, okay.
And so you can get some spore prints, and that's just something that's fun to do.
Super interesting.
Just fun and safe, and it also helps to identify mushrooms. Sometimes you just need to know what the spores look like.
Okay.
And again, like I talked about, knowing your plants, your flora, your fauna, there can be indicator species.
Oh, okay.
Which means, like, if you're hunting around in a forested area and you're not finding the mushrooms, but you are finding the plants that they associate with, you can say, okay, I'm going to come back here in a couple of weeks. I might just be too soon.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. Right now, the mushroom du jour is the morel.
Okay.
Yes, the spring morel. It's very, very exciting and very hard to find. I personally call it the CEO of hide and seek.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, so the morels, they actually start usually in people's gardens. As a professional gardener, I get emails all the time. What is this growing in my yard? And I'm like, you lucky so-and-so. Those are morels.
I've been looking for that one.
Yeah, but then they pop out into the riparian areas. So if you can go next to one of our rivers that we have here and find yourself some cottonwood trees, you might see this kind of situation here. And in fact, in this, there is a one precious morel.
One teeny tiny one.
Whoop, there it is.
Look at that spotlight. Beautiful.
Boom, just like that, my one morel that I have found this year.
Do you have to train your eyes to seek those out with all the flora and everything that you know what you're looking for?
You absolutely do. You really do, because they just blend in so well with all of these other bits and baubles that are found.
That's super fun.
Super fascinating.
Should we talk more about some safety precautions so that you don't get yourself stuck in a bad spot?
Absolutely. Always extra water, extra snacks. We're going to bring a battery pack for our phone. We're going to wear bright colors, because mushroom season coincides with hunting season.
Oh gosh.
Turkey season is about to start up, or maybe just did start up.
Yep.
So that coincides. So you want to be aware of that. You want to be seen.
There's a lot to know.
Yes, there is a lot to know.
Okay.
And then a whistle. One of my most important things that I recommend you bring into the forest with you anytime is a whistle, because the sound of a whistle can carry a lot farther than your voice.
Oh, okay.
Especially if you are cold and scared. So sit down and start blowing that whistle if you find yourself lost.
Okay.
Always tell somebody where you're going.
Yes.
Absolutely. Bring friends, and if you split up, have a time set where you are going to meet back together.
Oh, that's a good one.
So that you, and every couple of hours, check back in with your friends and make sure that you're all in the same place.
Yeah. Because when you're out there with no GPS or whatnot, it just gets so easy to get turned around.
Yeah.
And even the most experienced people who think they know the way around
100%.
can get into a bad spot.
You're looking at the ground.
Yes.
The whole time you are just looking at the ground. You're not looking at the other trees and rocks and things that can keep you situated. So absolutely having a digital map, having a paper map, having your whistle, your backup battery for your phone, all of that is just highly important. And definitely consider checking out the Oregon Mycological Society. Just because talking to people about mushrooms, looking at mushrooms, it's just the best way to learn about it.
It's a great way to learn hands-on. Can you quickly walk me through a couple of these guys over here on the end that we didn't get to?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, some of these it's similar to a turkey tail, not a turkey tail, but very similar. This one is a really cool one. It's called conch, kind of like just a common name, like you conked your head.
Sure.
The fun thing about these is that they are geotropic, which means they know which way gravity works.
What?
So, like, this was growing on a tree that was upright like this, and the spores were releasing out of here, and then that tree fell, and it kept growing, but it grew this way so that the spores can again fall this way.
Come on.
Yeah, they're smart.
Smart conch.
They're smart conchs. The mushrooms are smart.
I love it. Hey, thanks for stopping by. It was great to see you.
Great to be back.
So much to learn. Hey, we'll have more information about Tiffany on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.